Hi everyone, this is Listen. We're talking about climate change today, what it is, key vocabulary, phrasal verbs, idioms and sayings. So let's get into it. Understanding climate change today. Today's climate change includes two major things. We have global warming. This means that the Earth's average temperature is rising. And the broader means wider, the broader effects this warming has on the climate system across the world. Climate change can also refer to long-term changes in the Earth's climate from the past. Right now, the main cause of rising global temperatures is human activity, especially the burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are coal, oil, and gas that come from the remains of ancient plants and animals. This burning of fossil fuels started during the Industrial Revolution, when factories began using machines powered by coal and oil. When we burn fossil fuels, or we cut down forests, we call this deforestation. We cut down forests. Or we use certain farming and industrial methods. We release greenhouse gases. These are gases that trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere like a blanket. Greenhouse gases include carbon dioxide, which is actually the most important one, causing global warming. And since before industrial times, carbon dioxide levels have increased by about 50%. This is a level not seen for millions of years. Okay, a little bit about the key vocabulary we've just heard. Fossil fuels are natural energy sources like oil, coal, and gas. Deforestation is the act of cutting down large areas of forest. Greenhouse gases, gases that trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere. Effects on the environment. Climate change is already having serious effects on nature. Deserts are spreading, growing larger, and heat waves, long periods of very hot weather, heat waves, and wildfires, these are uncontrolled fires in forests or grasslands, are happening more often. In the Arctic, temperatures are rising even faster. This is leading to melting glaciers, retreating sea ice. This is ice that is disappearing, retreating sea ice, and thawing permafrost. Permafrost is frozen ground that is beginning to melt. Warmer temperatures are also causing stronger storms, more frequent droughts. A drought is a long period without rain, as well as other extreme weather events. These are unusual or dangerous weather like hurricanes or floods. Many animals and plants are struggling to survive. Some are moving to new places, while others are going extinct. Extinct is dying out completely. Even if we try hard to reduce future warming, some effects will last for hundreds of years. For example, the oceans will keep warming, becoming more acidic, like vinegar if you like, which harms sea life, and sea levels will continue to rise. A relevant phrasal verb here, to die out. This is to become extinct. Many species may die out because of rapid climate changes. A little bit now on the key vocabulary. Permafrost. This is ground that stays frozen for a long, long time. A drought is a time when there is very little or no rain. And acidic is having a low pH. Of course, this is harmful to many ocean animals. Human risks and consequences. Climate change is a threat to people everywhere. It causes more floods, more dangerous heat, and makes food and water harder to find in many areas. It also increases the spread of diseases and causes economic losses. Economic losses are people and governments losing money. Sometimes these problems cause conflict, fighting between groups or countries, conflict, or force people to leave their homes. The World Health Organization, the WHO, says that climate change is one of the biggest health risks of the 21st century. Without strong action, the risks will get worse. Some solutions include building flood defenses and planting drought-resistant crops. These are plants that survive with little water. But in some places, it's already too late to adapt. Poorer communities, which have done little to cause climate change, are often the most affected. They have fewer resources to protect themselves and are more vulnerable, easily harmed, vulnerable. A phrasal verb here, to leave behind. This is to abandon or forget. Many poor regions are being left behind in the fight against climate change. To leave behind. A little on the key vocabulary. Vulnerable, easy to hurt or damage. Adapt means to change in order to survive in new conditions. And a relevant idiom here. The writing is on the wall. It's clear that something bad is going to happen. The writing is on the wall. For example, for many low-income countries, the writing is on the wall unless urgent help arrives. Real examples of climate change. In 2020, the Bobcat fire in California destroyed forests and homes due to extreme heat and dry conditions. Coral reefs are turning white. This is called coral bleaching because of marine heat waves, very hot sea temperatures. In California again, lakes are drying up during what scientists are calling the worst mega-drought in 1,200 years. The year 2024 was the hottest on record, the hottest recorded, with average global temperatures 1.6 degrees C higher than they were before the industrial age. If temperatures continue to rise, we could reach tipping points. These are moments when damage becomes unstoppable. like when the entire Greenland ice sheet melts. This is called a tipping point. We can't stop this. A phrasal verb we could use here, to break down. This is to collapse or fail completely. Natural systems like ice sheets could break down if warming continues. The key vocabulary here: bleaching, when coral loses its color and dies. A tipping point: this is a critical moment where things can no longer go back to normal. A saying we could use: a stitch in time saves 9. This means acting early prevents bigger problems later. Reducing emissions now is smart, because a stitch in time saves 9. Acting now prevents bigger problems later. Global agreements and future goals. In 2015, countries signed the Paris Agreement. This was a promise to keep global warming well under 2 degrees C, and preferably closer to 1.5 degrees C. But these promises are not enough. If nothing changes, we could see a temperature increase of 2.8 degrees C by the year 2100. To stop this, we need to cut emissions by half by 2030. We need to reach net zero emissions. This means releasing no more greenhouse gases than we absorb from the atmosphere, and we need to do this before 2050. So we must cut emissions by half by 2030 and reach net zero by 2050, or we'll see this catastrophic temperature increase. A phrasal verb here: to cut down on. This means to reduce the amount of something. We must cut down on emissions to avoid dangerous warming. An idiom, perhaps: to bite the bullet. This is to do something difficult that must be done. Nations must bite the bullet and change their energy systems. Solutions: what we can do. Many people around the world support climate action. One key solution is to phase out fossil fuels. This means to slowly stop using them, to phase them out. Governments can help by ending subsidies. This is monetary support for coal, oil, and gas. Saving energy, using clean energy like wind, solar, hydro, this is water, hydro, and nuclear power. We could use clean electricity instead of fossil fuels for transportation, heating homes, and factories. We could also remove carbon from the atmosphere by planting more forests and using farming methods that store carbon in the soil. That phrasal verb there, phase out, this means to slowly stop using or doing something. Countries are working to phase out coal energy. A relevant saying here: every little bit helps. Small efforts are still useful. Switching to public transport may seem small, but every little bit helps. An idiom: turn the tide. This means to reverse something negative or a negative trend. If we act together, we can turn the tide against climate change. Turn the tide. And actions speak louder than words. This means what you do is more important than what you say. Real climate action means cutting emissions. Actions speak louder than words. And a saying, don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Don't delay. We shouldn't delay reducing emissions. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. This is listen.com.co. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye-bye for now.